What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode of Fishing with Flair. Today we have the March Lucky Tackle Box Bass XL unboxing. So let's get right into it. First things first, we've got the card that has all the baits on it with the description, prices, and tips. Lots of good information on this guy. Now I'm just going to take everything out and then I'll go over everything one by one. So now I got everything laid out. It looks like we got 7 baits in this box. And I'll start off with my favorite part, which is the Fish Hound magazine. You guys may recognize this guy that's on the cover. That is No Pescatelli from Kicking Their Bass TV. They got a whole bunch of information about him in this month's article, as well as a bunch of fishing tips, like knot tying tips, all kinds of good stuff in this magazine. Definitely want to give this a read if you do get the Lucky Tackle Box each month like I do. Alright, so the first bait we're going to start off, this one is definitely my favorite in the box, and that's because you guys know I love throwing topwater frogs. And the one that Lucky Tackle Box sent, this is the LIVETARGET frog. This one goes for $10.99. This is an awesome frog. They sent it in a little bit smaller size. This is not normally the size that I would go with, but for those of you who bank fish, which is, in my opinion, probably the majority of you guys who get the Lucky Tackle Box, this is a really good pond fishing bait because it's a little bit smaller than like the middle to large size frogs, and those smaller frogs seem to work a little bit better in those small bodies of water. It's a super high quality, realistic looking frog there. The LIVETARGET frogs are definitely one of my favorite frogs on the market. I own a ton of them. I fish them. Actually, I used one of these frogs when I placed second in my state championship 2 years ago when I was a junior in high school. I actually used one of these frogs, and that's what I caught my biggest fish on. The next lure we have here is a swim bait, and this is the Reaction Strike. This is the 4-inch. This is the thin shad, and I saw a video that Travis Moran did over at Lucky Tackle Box. If you guys want to know how to use this guy right here, along with all the other lures that come in this box, you head over to Lucky Tackle Box's YouTube channel and they teach you how. But Travis Moran of Lucky Tackle Box put all these on an Alabama rig and was just crushing it. Really informative video, so you guys definitely want to check that out. That's the swim bait right there. It's a small little ribbed one. These guys work perfect on a EWG hook, whether it's a belly weighted or even Texas rigged. And then again, you can always throw it on a trailer like a chatterbait or a swim jig, as well as an Alabama rig if you guys live around those bigger bass. Next bait we have, this is probably my second favorite lure in the box. This box did have a ton of great lures, but I am just in love with frog fishing and chatterbait fishing. And right here we have the Z-Man. This is the CHATTERFROG. Now for those of you guys that don't know what it is, or maybe a little skeptical because of the name, don't be intimidated because it says frog. Honestly, I work this just like a normal chatterbait, and I seem to get just as many bites on the CHATTERFROG as I do with the original chatterbait. The only difference between it is it's just a little bit bigger, and it has 2 trailers, unlike the original chatterbait that only has 1. You can see there that's got a frog style trailer, as well as that one that looks like some frog legs on there, so you can change it up depending on what action you want. And you can see there they have the blade painted, really realistic looking. But you know, if like I said, don't get intimidated because of the name frog, because you know you're throwing that through the water, that looks just like a shad as well. So don't get intimidated. Like I said, don't be afraid if it says frog. I'm gonna throw this just like a regular chatterbait, throw a swim bait on the back of it, and fish it like a normal shad patterned chatterbait. But those things are killer there. Very realistic looking, and a nice big hook on there as well, which is a key, absolute key when you're chatterbait fishing, is those big hooks, because you do get a lot of big bass to bite. The next bait in the box, this is a LIVETARGET bait ball series. This is a crankbait. I've actually never fished with one of these crankbaits. I fished with some of their topwaters that Lucky Tackle Box has sent. These crankbaits are super realistic looking. Awesome baits by LIVETARGET. You can see there, LIVETARGET has some of the most realistic looking hard baits on the market by far. It looks just like a little ball of bait fish there. That's why they call it the bait ball. And this dude right here will probably run you about 6 to 8 feet or so. Just a nice little medium diver. And, you know, I'd probably throw those pre-spawn bass that are kind of looking to go shallow, as well as those post-spawn bass. You want to keep these crankbaits around for those post-spawn bass, because once they get off those beds, they move off into that little bit deeper water, in that 6 to 10 feet range, and you can catch them on reaction baits like this. Next lure here is a jerkbait, which this is perfect for my area of the country, which I live in the Midwest, because right now it is prime jerkbait fishing. You guys, I don't know if I'll have the video before this or after this unboxing, probably after, but I did catch a lot of nice fish on a jerkbait last weekend. And that one here is a Dynamic Lures jerkbait, and I've had a couple of these come through, and they seem to work really well. It's a great pattern. It's a nice chrome black back pattern, nice shad imitation. Again, for you pond fishermen, that small bait like that's a little 3-inch one. Works very well in that small body of water. Not to say that this jerkbait will not work well if you fish large reservoirs or anything, but that smaller little profile seems to work really well for catching those pond bass. It's got a nice little rattle system to it, sticky sharp hooks, as you guys can see there. Getting caught up. Again, another great bait for time of year. Lucky Tackle Box, again, sending fantastic lures that you can tie on right now and go fish and catch fish on the lures that they send. The next lure here, this is a soft plastic. I've seen this come in the Lucky Tackle Box before, and it's a great flipping bait. And that one is a Bass Munitions. This is the Breacher Mini Beaver. You guys can see there, it's just a nice small beaver presentation. It's just a nice little flipping bait. I put this on like a 2 or 3 aught hook and then flip it around bushes, lay down, stuff like that. Or you can even put it on the back of a jig and use it as a crawfish trailer, anything like that. But it is a perfect small size, again, for those pond fish. You definitely want to go with that smaller size. The bait fish is just not able to grow as large as some of those bigger bodies of water, so I tend to stick towards smaller baits. But again, not to say that big baits won't work. That's just what I would start with if I was fishing a pond. Last but not least, we have these must-add. These are the no-twist hooks. Use it for drop shotting. And this is a size 2, 5 count. These things are phenomenal. If you guys like to drop shot fish, I personally don't really like it, but when I do make sure to use these no-twist shot hooks, because then it just prevents your line from twisting. It keeps your bait straight at all times, and it actually gives your bait more action because it can kind of move side to side. Lastly, we got the Lucky Tackle Box sticker. So as you guys can see, this box was just filled with awesome spring bass fishing lures. If you guys watched that top 5 spring fishing lures I had, it had a few of these in there that I mentioned that work really well, as well as some like the crankbaits and the frogs that may work a little bit better once the water warms up. So overall, I thought it was a great box, Lucky Tackle Box sent, and the total of that box is right here. And to get one of these, it's only $23.95. So you do save a bit of money here with all the baits that you get for how much you pay. They also have a regular bass box that's only $14.99, as well as panfish, trout, saltwater, ice fishing. They have a whole bunch of boxes. You go to luckytacklebox.com, you can get your own. But today I was doing the Bass XL box. In my opinion, for your bass fishermen, it's definitely the best bang for your buck. That's it for today's episode, guys. If you enjoyed, smash that like button. Appreciate you guys' support. Hit that subscribe button if you already have it. Go check out Lucky Tackle Box's YouTube channel for how-to videos on how to catch fish on all the lures that you saw in today's video. That's it for today's episode, guys. Thanks for watching.
First things first, I'm the realest.